638, Todd Jeffries and Don Pryor.
Hey, everybody.
Here on the Todd Don Show. Did you see the pictures and the videos circulating over the weekend in between the medians, in between the concrete barriers near Ben White Boulevard, where you had a group of homeless folks actually having a barbecue? Actually had a barbecue pit out there, and It looks like that's where they sleep and stay, and it's behind concrete barriers. Right there in the middle of the road.
Yeah, got a gas grill out there.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. That must be legal now. It's not safe, but it must be legal, right?
I guess, yeah. I saw one photo of this group with a gas grill sitting there and a picnic table, the one you're talking about. Then I saw another one where they've got, it looks like a barbecue smoker, going at it.
Governor Greg Abbott is now weighing in on our homeless crisis here in the city of Austin. As you know, Police Chief Brian Manley says Austin City Council has fundamentally changed the way officers will handle calls about people sitting or lying in public places. Here's the chief.
Whether it be in front of a business or along a public thoroughfare, we will have to be able to prove that conduct poses a hazard or a danger.
I don't know. It sounds like it's a danger being there in the center of the median barbecuing. It sounds dangerous to me. It may not be. I don't know. Well, now Governor Greg Abbott is stepping in, saying in a tweet that if Austin or any Texas city allows people to pitch tents and camp in public, it will be yet another local ordinance that will be overturned by the state of Texas. Abbott also says city councils have far too long now made public safety and common sense secondary to these kinds of decisions, and he will not allow Austin to become a tent city like Seattle, San Francisco, and Portland.
Yeah, in L.A., and it's certainly starting to look more like that now that we have this new aspect of they're now setting up their own kitchens right there on Ben White. So if they have extra food, maybe they'll throw you a hot dog or something.
It is documented. It is proven. The data is unavoidable that when cities water down these ordinances, then they have a flood of problems that follow.
Sure.
San Francisco, Los Angeles, Portland. We could go on and on and on. Every city that has watered down these ordinances has had a problem within the next few years.
Yeah, my hunch is that the homeless community is probably going to push this as far as they can, as far as pushing the limits. How far can they go?
I don't think it's the homeless community pushing this. I think this is progressive city council members that are virtue signaling.
Oh, absolutely. But what I meant to say was they'll, as far as the homeless community themselves, now that the rules have been relaxed, they'll see how far they can take it.
They'll test the bounds.
Yeah, exactly. And it looks like they're on the way to doing that.
All right, 641, and you can join us in the conversation at 512-836-0590. But what do you think of this tweet from the governor? If Austin or any Texas city permits camping on city streets, it'll be yet another local ordinance that state of Texas will override. In other words, in the next session, or maybe an emergency session, to change all of this.
Yeah, I like his perspective because he really sees it for what it is. And from his position, I guess his heart is not where, say, our city council people are. He has a more realistic view of things, and he has the power to do something about it, and I appreciate that.
I'd rather the governor not butt into local city business.
However,
yeah. When it becomes oppressive and a problem, then you kind of need it.
I guess, yeah, that's a good point. When things are that bad, where the governor is poking his nose in the city business, what does that tell you? What does that tell you?
And not to mention, this last legislative session was all about. There were many laws that were addressed and debated, tackling Austin's very progressive agenda.
Yeah.
When it comes to mandatory sick leave, things like that. Those are things the legislature tried to address in this last session.
Yep.
So I think it's only a matter of time. Governor Abbott doing the same thing.
Well, I think we need him because who else is going to do it right now?
As soon as there's a tent city that pops up on the sidewalks around the governor's mansion is when the state will get involved.
Well, that's possible, I guess, now that they've
as long as they're not hurting anybody or hurting themselves,
right.
They can pop up a one-man tent right there. Right there at the front gate of the governor's mansion.
Well, as you know, they have beautiful trees there.
They do.
It's only a matter of time.
It is a beautiful park.
It certainly is. Great area there.
Is it considered a park? The governor's mansion? Or the property around the state capitol? Is it considered a park? I don't know that answer.
Like a state park?
Yeah.
never heard it put that way. But
can you go have a picnic on the lawn?
Yeah, I believe you can of the Capitol.
Yeah.
I believe you can.
I just never see that. I don't see that a whole lot.
Go ahead and try it at the governor's mansion. Let me know how that goes. I don't know.
On the inside or
on the inside of
the gate?
Just go through there and sit down and eat you a
Sir,
sandwich.
what are you doing everywhere? We're just having a picnic.
Yeah. Hey, I'm a taxpayer. It's mine.
It's my park.
Yeah, test it. See what happens.
Well, listen, if folks can pitch tents and do a barbecue on the sidewalk in front of the governor's mansion, then why couldn't we?
Why not us?
Could we have a Todd and Don show remote in the middle of that median on Ben White Boulevard? Could we? If it's okay for people to live and cook and live, right? Then surely we can have an afternoon remote where we pass out some breakfast tacos.
Exactly.
People that are driving by.
They're making them right there.
I think we need to look. Alyssa, can you look into that? Will you find it? Don't even ask for a permit, Alyssa. Don't even reach the city. Just start asking for a great location.
That would be
Just
hilarious.
Start looking. People are going to call in with a great location where we could have this remote.
A live remote from Ben White in South Congress.
Giving away some free food and things like that.
That's it, yeah.
Hey, listen, we do have more on the story, including the governor's reaction on the front page of our website at newsradioklbj.com. Stay with us. We're going to take a look at Austin's on-time traffic and our forecast straight ahead. But it appears that some of the Democrat presidential wannabes are getting really, really, really desperate. Have you heard about Bernie Sanders wanting to forgive all student loan debt? Just erase it from the books.
Yeah.
All student loan debt. Just erase it from the books.
Right.
And then you got Beto O'Rourke, who's talking about a war tax. A war tax. In other words, non-military households would have to pay a war tax to help foot the bill for wars. He breaks it down into how much you'd have to pay for this war tax. He's going to talk about this later today.
Well, they're realizing that they didn't have any actual, proposals as far as how to make the country better, and now they're just coming out with this ridiculous Hail Mary stuff.
Well,
it's just like, what?
I haven't even told you about Elizabeth Warren's idea. Gay reparations.
Gay reparations.
Gay reparations. We owe them money, she says.
Because they're gay?
Yeah, because, that's what she says, pretty much. Gay reparations. I'll explain in just 1 minute. Right now, though, it is 6:45. Let's take a look at Austin's on-time traffic, and here's Don.
Oh, man. Well, we have a few issues out there. Southbound 35 before 45 coming out of Round Rock and Georgetown. You're very slow there due to a wreck. Burnett Road at Northland, a wreck there. We've got one on southbound Mopac at Schofield Ridge, southbound 35 at Palmer, still working that wreck. Harris Branch at Palmer, a wreck there. And also southbound Mopac at 360. That's on the south side near Barton Creek Mall there. And usual delays building in the usual spots. Don Pryor with Austin's on-time traffic.
This segment brought to you by A-Plus Air Conditioning and Home Solutions.
Get your AC checked out.
We had at 5530 Escobar First.
For cooling checkup specials, fast AC repairs, or save on a new Lennox system. Act now and get over $1,000.
Don, you also have Van Russen in that break, but I'll let you know when.
AC.com.
License B5235C.
Today we'll have a shower or thunderstorm around, especially for this morning. Otherwise, clouds will break for some sunshine. We'll have a high of 93. Partly to mostly cloudy, low 75 tonight. From the Weather Center, I'm Heather Zayer.
Make a smart choice about your own home comfort. Enjoy up to $1,700 in rebates on a new Lennox home comfort system. Call Woods Comfort Systems at 512-392-6907 today. Conditions apply. See dealer for details.
646, Todd Jeffries and Don Pryor.
Hello.
Her name is Elizabeth Warren. She wants to be your president, and she's got a barrage of Hail Marys trying to get some attention out there. I mean, she's got a campaign promise for just about every identity group out there. Some sort of monetary handout, if you will, for race, age, socioeconomic background. Check this out. Gay reparations.
Okay.
We owe them money, she says. It wasn't until marriage equality became law that gay and lesbian couples could jointly file their tax returns. So they paid more in taxes. Our government owes them more than $50 million for the years of discriminatory tax code that left them out. We must right the wrongs.
Wow.
That's what Elizabeth Warren said over the weekend.
Wow. Where did she pull that out?
What do you mean? No, she's right about that. The tax code was unfair to them.
I know, but what a it's like they're just looking for anything. Just, what about, let's try this. Let's go for this.
It's desperation.
Yeah, it is desperation.
Yeah, she had to come up with that during Pride Month.
Yeah, Right. Yeah, timing is everything.
You notice everybody's starting to take down their pride rainbows? I mean, as soon as it's over, man, they start taking them down.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. We're not going to give you an extra. We're not going to give you an extra time on that. You got your time. We're moving on. That is really, really desperate of her. That is kind of well, not. I mean, maybe that is true. Maybe we do need to look at that as far as getting some money that they should have had coming to them. But just the fact that that's where she's going is a little odd.
Joining us on the news line is Matt Makoviak from the Travis County Republican Party.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, Matt. Hey. Good morning. You heard me run through these things. Beto O'Rourke wants a war tax. Elizabeth Warren wants gay reparations, and Bernie Sanders wants to erase all student loan debt. They're getting desperate, aren't they?
It's going to be a beautiful world.
Yeah, it's an expensive morning for taxpayers. You know, one of the most, I think, underreported aspects of this presidential primary is you know, sort of the question of whether these potential presidents really have the ability to do these things. You know, these things would have to go through Congress, would have to have bipartisan support. You know, these are pretty left-wing ideas. We're going to have the most liberal nominee from the Democratic Party probably in 30 or 40 years in 2020, and the country's not ready for that. I mean, we are not a liberal country. So it's going to be interesting to see how the electorate responds in the general election once the Democrats have a nominee, because we just have never in the modern era we haven't seen the Democrats nominate someone with ideas that are this progressive, and that's just not where the country is. And I think it's going to help Trump for sure.
Mm-hmm. What do you make of the talk over the weekend about the immigration raids? It appears that Nancy Pelosi actually invited the president to pause that or put it on hold, and he obliged. What do you make of all of that conversation? I mean, is he just pushing to try to get Democrats to come up with some sort of emergency funding bill on the border? What is he thinking?
Well, you know, this is not. This is actually not a massive effort. This is, I think, was targeting 2,000 illegal immigrants who have been given removal orders. Right? These are people who were given a court date and didn't show up, or for whatever reason have been ordered to be deported but haven't yet. So this is not your standard illegal immigrant who came here illegally and then has been playing by the rules since then. So it's a very small. Apparently, there are something like 1 million illegal immigrants in the country that have removal orders, and I think this particular effort was going to target, I think, 2,000 of them. In terms of your question, look, I think the president wants Congress to do something. The situation on the southern border is not sustainable. It is there because of this Flores decision that says that where the courts say that you can't hold an adult and a child for more than 20 days if they come illegally. They have to literally be released into the public. And so the president is saying, look, you have 2 weeks. Pass legislation let's do a deal that reforms our asylum process and fixes these loopholes. Look, that's not going to get done in 2 weeks. Congress doesn't do anything in 2 weeks, and the Democrats haven't really shown any interest in trying to fix the problem. I mean, this was the subject of my Washington Times column last week. Pelosi wants the issue more than she wants the solution.
Yeah,
she's had a $4.4 billion request for humanitarian aid from the Trump administration sitting on her desk for more than 3 months now, and she hasn't done anything. Now they're starting, I guess, to talk about maybe doing something, but. The time, this problem's getting worse. We had 140,000 apprehensions along the southern border last month. We're going to have over 1 million this year. It's simply not sustainable. So they complain about, the living conditions in these facilities on the one hand, and then they don't provide the funding that the administration needs to handle the influx. I mean, it's really, as I said in the column, unconscionable.
Over the weekend, Governor Greg Abbott issued a tweet basically reacting to this city council repealing and watering down our homeless ordinances, and he's concerned that people are going to be camping on the streets, just like Los Angeles, San Francisco, Seattle. You could pick the city that has the homeless crisis. Are we the next? I mean, we already have a problem with it, but are we the next documentary that highlights a lost city with so many people living on the streets? Is there a concern there for you?
Yeah, it's amazing. Absolutely. The city council, I guess, looks at those large cities and wants to emulate emulate them. When the average person who's been to those cities, sure, there are some nice things. They have great museums and great restaurants and great hotels and stuff like that. But they also have massive problems. And so, look, homelessness is a really, really tough challenge. There is no simple solution. There are drug addiction issues. There are mental health issues. There are all kinds of problems. There's no simple solution. But decriminalizing homelessness really just incentivizes it. It means we're going to have more of it. And I don't think anyone, I think the only 10 people in Austin who think letting the homeless camp on the streets are the ones who are unfortunately on the city council. That is not the direction that we need to go.
Right.
Threatening the economic vitality of downtown is insane for the city of Austin to do that, and that's what this does. So I'm thrilled that the governor has stepped in. Obviously, that's not something that could get addressed until the next legislative session, which is basically more than a year and a half away. But it is clear that they're not going to stand by and let Austin race towards becoming another Los Angeles or San Francisco in this regard. I don't know what the council was thinking. This was an idea that Greg Casar was pushing. He's got so many bad ideas. Yeah. But for whatever reason, he's able to get them through the city council. It's really pretty frightening for the average taxpayer.
Matt Makoviak with the Travis County Republican Party. You guys got the Ronald Reagan Gala coming up Thursday, the 27th. I think it's at the Hotel Van Zandt. That's a great place. You got tickets available still?
We do, yeah, thanks. This is our big annual fundraiser. It's this Thursday night. Our headliner is Governor Scott Walker, and we're going to have a huge crowd. I think we have 250 people coming already. It's going to be a great night. We're honoring Chief Justice Nathan Hecht. We're honoring Congressman Chip Roy, who's been in the news quite a bit the last couple months. A number of our statewide officials will be there. You can check out the event at TCRP, Travis County Republican Party, ReaganGala.com, TCRP, ReaganGala.com. Love to have people join us on Thursday night.
Yeah, that's a great event. I appreciate it. Matt, thank you so much for calling in here on the Todd Don Show.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate what you do. Take care.
There you go. That's Matt Makoviak from the Travis County Republican Party. There you go.
Yep. Yeah, there it is.
He's
folks.
right, though. I mean,
Austin, Texas.
This Austin City Council is taking a shot at the vibrance, the economic health of the core of our city.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I don't know if you saw this. Do we have 1 second here?
Go ahead, wrap it up.
I don't know if you saw this tweet that was circulating, and this is an actual tweet. Guy named Peter Bishop. He visited here in Austin, and he kind of puts down his list of activities. Austin, day 2, overslept, then Torchy's, shopping on South Congress, Zilker Park, kayak Colorado, dinner at Red Ash. That was great. I dragged the kids through the Austin Biker Rot Rally. That was fun for excellent people watching. And damn, this town is full of very aggressive, filthy bums, literally asking for money for drugs. This is a filthy San Francisco of Texas, not moving here.
Wow.
The Todd and Don Show.
Todd Jeffries here along with Don Pryor. And we want to tell you about our friend Brian Escobar at Escobar & Associates. This is a locally owned business for 35 years here in town.
Yeah.
And what they do is they specialize in helping small and medium-sized businesses with their payroll, and they help them stay out of trouble with Uncle Sam. If you ever gotten in the rears with Uncle Sam and you got that 800-pound gorilla knocking your door demanding money, reach Brian Escobar. That's who you should call if you own a small business, period. Just Brian Escobar at Escobar & Associates.
Yeah, Escobar needs to be part of your small business plan, definitely. And speaking of that, he can develop a tax plan for your business, really designed for the nature of your business to keep you on the right financial path right from day one. And if things, if you get a little, trouble with the IRS maybe, or some, back taxes or some other issue, let them be your advocate. Let them do the dirty work. Go to battle with the IRS to get a settlement that works for everyone. As Brian has said for years, when it comes to your taxes, the one thing, folks, you cannot afford to do is nothing. Escobar & Associates, 512-442-3055.